I was skeptical about this one. I mean, I've tried a few subwoofers over the years, and most of them either rattle the windows or just sound muddy. But then I got my hands on the SVS PB-1000 Pro, and honestly, it changed how I listen to music and watch movies at home. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What really surprised me was how clean and controlled the bass was. I've got a decent 5.1 setup in my living room, but the PB-1000 Pro added a whole new layer of depth without overpowering everything else. I was playing some old jazz records the other day, and the upright bass notes actually had weight and texture, something I've never really heard from a sub before. It wasn't just loud, it was accurate. That's the word I'd use. The bass didn't blur into one big thump, it had definition, like each note had its own space. The build quality is something else. This thing is heavy, like 70 pounds heavy, but it's built like a tank. The cabinet is solid, and the front grille is magnetic, so it's easy to remove if you want to show off that driver. Speaking of the driver, it's a 12-inch SVS unit with dual ferrite magnets, which I think is part of why it sounds so tight. I've had subs where the bass just sort of flops around, but this one has this controlled punch that doesn't distort, even when I crank it up during action scenes. One of the features that stood out to me was the DSP tuning. SVS includes a smartphone app that lets you adjust the crossover, phase, and even room gain to match your space. I live in an apartment, so I don't want to rattle the neighbor's walls, but I still want that deep rumble. With the app, I dialed it in so the bass is felt more than heard, which is perfect for late-night movie nights. The app is super intuitive, no engineering degree required. You just tap through the settings, and it updates the sub in real time. I also love how versatile this sub is. I use it for music, movies, and even gaming. When I'm playing a game like Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, the low-end frequencies in the soundtrack make the environments feel more immersive. The dual ports on the cabinet help with airflow, so there's no distortion even at high volumes. And because it's ported, it extends lower than sealed subs in the same price range. I'm hearing notes down to 18 Hz, which is crazy for a sub this size. Another thing I noticed is how well it blends with my existing speakers. I've got a pair of bookshelf speakers as my mains, and the PB-1000 Pro fills in the low end without making it sound like there's a separate boombox in the room. The crossover adjustment in the app was key here. I matched it to my speaker's roll-off, and now the transition is seamless. Now, it's not perfect. The size is a consideration. It's not huge, but it's still a big box, and if you're tight on space, it might be a challenge to fit. Also, while it's powerful, it's not the absolute deepest sub out there. If you're looking for something that goes below 16 Hz, you might need to step up to the PB-2000. But for most people, the PB-1000 Pro is more than enough. Overall, I'm really impressed with this sub. It's not just about loudness, it's about clarity and control. Whether you're a music lover, a movie buff, or a gamer, it adds a whole new dimension to your setup without taking over. If you're in the market for a subwoofer that punches above its weight, this one's worth a serious look. Check it out below if you're curious, I've got the link in the description. For most buyers, the real question is not whether SVS PB-1000 Pro Subwoofer, Black Ash, 12 inches driver, 325 watt RMS, ported cabinet sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like 325 watts RMS and 820 plus watts peak power sledge STA325D and high excursion 12-inch SVS subwoofer driver features dual actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off.